everyone, I am going to explain question number 3rd and question number 4th of exercise 7.3 of class 12. As you know that this exercise and this 7th chapter is based from differentiation, and in the question we have to find out dy over dx. Since we have to find out dy over dx means we have to differentiate the given equation with respect to x. So we will start from question number 3rd A. So here this equation is available given to us. So I wrote this equation as given. Now since we have to find out dy over dx, so we will differentiate it with respect to x. So derivative symbol will distribute to all three. So like this derivative symbol distributed to all 3 and 4, this 0 also. So when we differentiate sin x with respect to x, we will get cos x, and because of chain rule dx over dx is 1, which I not mentioned here. Now when we differentiate it, we have to use the formula of x to the power n, that is n x n minus 1. So this 2 as it is, and this 2 is behaving as n. So n x minus n minus 1. So 2 cos y, then 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's why I not wrote here. Then according to the chain rule, we have to differentiate this cos y again. So I hope it's clear to you. This 2 is the coefficient, so this 2 came as it is. Now here I applied this formula, that is n x n minus 1. So n, that is 2 cos 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So not mentioned here. Then according to the chain rule, we have to differentiate this cos y again. Now here we have to use the formula u v dot, that is first function as it is, second function differentiation, then second function as it is, first function differentiation. So x as it is, then y is differentiation, then y as it is, and then x differentiation. It's constant, so constant differentiation is 0. Now in next step, here cos x as it is, 2 2s are 4, cos y as it is. Now cos y's differentiation with respect to x is minus sin y, but according to the chain rule we have to differentiate this y again, that's why dy over dx. Now here we can't do any change here, so this term as it is, and y multiplied by dx over dx is 1. So now in next step, so these two terms have dy over dx, that's why I shifted in right hand side. So this is negative term because minus will come here, so when we shift here it becomes positive, and this is positive term, so when we shift here it becomes negative. Now only y and cos x is remain here. Now this 4 again split as 2 into 2 because in here we can bring them in the form of 2 sin y cos y, that is sin 2y. It's a formula of sin 2 theta. So from 2 sin y cos y we obtain sin 2y. Then take dy over dx common. So this 2 as it is, and from here to here it is sin 2y, and this x as it is. Now this bracket is in multiply with dy over dx, so it will go in divide. So this first part is completed. Now we'll start the B part. B part is we have to differentiate it. So on differentiating with respect to x, derivative symbol shifted. Now here again two functions are in multiply, so we will use the formula of u dot v. That's why first x as it is, then differentiation of root y, then root y as it is, then differentiation of x. Now here again y as it is, differentiation of root x, then root x as it is, and differentiation of y. And differentiation of 1 is 0. So we had used this formula, u dot v formula. Now when we differentiate it, we are going to use the formula x to the power n, that is n x n minus 1. So half y, half minus 1. Then according to chain rule, we have to differentiate y. Then root y as it is, dx over dx is 1. Now when we differentiate it, y as it is, we have to use again x to the power n formula, that is n x n minus 1. Then according to chain rule, this x also we have to differentiate. Then root x as it is, we can't do any change here, so as it is, and then this 0. Now in next step, x upon 2, then half minus 1 is minus half, dy over dx as it is, root y into 1 is root y. Here again you will get half minus 1 is minus half, dx over dx is 1, this as it is. Now you can see in this term and in this term we have dy over dx, remaining terms will shift. Before that I simplified them. This y power minus half means 1 upon root x. Because of minus sign it will move in 1 upon and because of 1 upon 2 root will come. In the same way here also, because of this minus sign it will come in the denominator. Because of this half, root symbol will come here. Now from here, this term and this term, just take dy over dx common, and these two terms which don't have dy over dx shift in other side, so minus sign will come here. Then take the LCM. After taking LCM you will obtain like this. Then this fraction is in multiply, so when you will shift reciprocal of the fraction you have to do. That's why 2y came here and this term came in the denominator. Now this 2 and 2 just cancel like this, and then open the bracket. When you will open the bracket, root y will multiply by both. That's why you see 2 root y multiplied by this, then y multiplied by root y. In the same way, root x multiplied by both will obtain this. Now here you can see root y and root y is y. So here also y and here also y. So take that y outside. Now here we already have x. Now this root x and root x is x. So take x outside. So we'll obtain this term. Now we'll move to the question number 4. In question number 4, again we have to find out dy over dx. So we'll differentiate it with respect to x. So to differentiate it, we'll use the formula x to the power n, that is n x n minus 1. So 2, then this complete is our x. So n x n minus 1. Then according to the chain rule, we have to differentiate this x square y square again. Now here just use the formula u dot v. So you will obtain this. Now here when you will do 2 minus 1 you will get 1 only. So now this derivative symbol will distribute to both. That's why it came inside. Now here this term as it is, and dx over dx is 1. Now here again use x to the power n formula, that is n x n minus 1. Now dx over dx is 1, so I not out here. Then y square differentiation is 2y 2 minus 1, that is we had used the formula and x n minus 1. Then according to the chain rule you have to differentiate here y also. Students, here also chain rule is applied, but dx over dx is 1. So if you want to mention you can mention, but since it's 1 so it's not need also. Now here these terms as it is. Now in next step I open the bracket, so this term will distribute to both. So we'll obtain this and this term, these two terms as it is. Now shift this y here and shift this term that side, so it becomes negative. Now take dy over dx common from here, and then since this bracket is in multiply, so it will go in divide. So hence the first part completed. Now we'll move to the b part. In b part we have to differentiate it. So when we differentiate, sine theta differentiation is cos theta, but we have to use the chain rule. So we differentiate this xy again with respect to x. Now when we differentiate them, we'll assume them as two functions, that is u dot v. So u is your x and v is 1 upon x. I am repeating again. We'll differentiate it by assuming them as multiplication of two functions, that is u multiplied by v. So u we will assume as x and v will assume as 1 upon y. So first function as it is 1 upon y as it is, then dx over dx. Then x as it is, then we have to differentiate 1 upon y. 1 upon y means y to the power minus 1. Now here we will differentiate them. We use the x to the power n formula, that is n x n minus 1. Then chain rule will apply to dx over dx. And this is as it is. Now in next step, here cos xy as it is, and we will use the u dot v formula again. So x as it is, then dy over dx, then y as it is, then dx over dx. Now here dx over dx is 1. Now this x as it is. Now here we will differentiate by assuming it as n x to the power n formula, that is n x n minus 1. So what is n here? Minus 1. So n is minus 1, then y n minus 1 is minus 1 minus 1, then dy. According to the chain rule we have to differentiate this y again. Now here dx over dx is 1, so 2x multiplied by 1, and this dy over dx is as it is. Now in next step, this term, these two terms as it is, and here you will get 1, so y into 1 is y. Now here 1 upon y, and here you will get minus 2. So you will get here y to the power minus 2, because we had used the formula n x n minus 1, so n is minus 1, that's why we obtained here n minus 1, so minus 1 is minus 2, then dy over dx as it is, 2x into 1 is 2x, and this term as it is. Now in next step, this bracket as it is, this term as it is, and here it is this positive and this negative becomes negative here. Y to the power minus 2, that's why y came down, y square positive square, then these terms as it is. Now just do the shifting. Open the bracket first. When you will open the bracket, it will multiply by both, and here these terms came here as it is, and this also as it is. Now shift all the dy over dx in one side, that is this one and this one. Take dy over dx common, so from here it is left, and from here x upon y square left, and from here when it will come here positive 1 remains. Now the non dy over dx term, that is these two terms are positive, so when you will shift them, they becomes negative. Now take the LCM here. Here LCM is y square and here LCM is y. Now this fraction is in multiply, so when you will shift reciprocal we have to do. Now y cut by y. So y outside and other terms we wrote as it is. Hence the question number 4 is completed here. This is the answer of this part. Thank you.